Well, there's a country song with a chorus that teaches the listener situations in which you find out who your friends are. This often happens when things don't go as planned. And as Dave Martinson tells us tonight, for one 13-year-old Pocatello boy, it happened in the aftermath of one of our recent storms.
During what's been an atypical summer in Pocatello, heavy rain and flooding was nearly a staple during the month of August. As rain led to flooding and flooding led to road hazards, property damage was inevitable. Many homes were affected, like the one of Paul Bickenhout.
It was awful, to say the least. I mean, it had already rained a couple days earlier pretty badly, and it was really leaky. I looked down and I couldn't quite comprehend it because the floor was black, so I thought it must be really dark down there, but it was actually water, and it had been flooding in from the window and actually coming up out of the toilet. So of course my first impulse was save my Xbox.
The damage, at least to the basement, was so bad that no one can currently live in Paul's family's home. That family's currently living in a rental property as they try to reclaim and repair their now severely damaged residence. However, Paul has friends who saw his situation and wanted to help.
I knew he needed help by just the way I walked down, and I was just surprised. It was like just covered. His whole basement must have been flooded. It was just horrible.
Yeah, and then the same thing with me. I went and saw his house, and he told me that his whole basement was covered with mud and everything, and he needed help with everything.
Help is something that Paul quickly received. Jordan and Ben sprang into action, putting donation jars at local businesses around Pocatello and at the Museum of Clean in an effort to raise money for their friend and his family whose home was devastated by flooding damage.
All my friends, I do anything for my friends. My friends are half my life. I just love my friends.
Yeah, it just makes me feel really good to help other people.
Ben, Jordan, and Jordan's scout troop did raise money to help Paul and his family. However, this isn't the end of the story. Paul saw their good deed and wanted to pay it forward. He felt that the money should go to somebody who's in greater need than he is.
I just think that everybody should be helped like we are being helped. I mean, it would be kind of selfish to ask that they just gave all of the fundraising money to us.
The boys will now find the best way to help other local flood victims using the funds that they raised for Paul. In Pocatello, Dave Martinson, KPVI News 6.
So those wishing to support the boys' effort to help local flood victims can do so by finding the story at kpvi.com. There's some contact information there.